Did you miss me? Come on, I know you missed me. Now, you might be wondering where I've been, but right now, what I'd like to do is have a nice philosophical discussion about the myth of Sisyphus. If you don't know what the myth of Sisyphus is, don't worry, it's very straightforward. There's a guy, his name's Sisyphus, that's why it's called the myth of Sisyphus, and Sisyphus is in the underworld. Sisyphus is stuck in the underworld, and he's stuck rolling this boulder up this hill, and every time it gets close to the top, the boulder rolls all the way back down, because, like, magic and stuff. And if Sisyphus ever gets the boulder to the top of the hill, and it stays there, Sisyphus gets to go free. But until he does, well, he's just stuck rolling that boulder up the hill. Now you might be thinking, Corn, that's really sad. And why does Sisyphus even keep rolling the boulder up the hill? Like, doesn't he know that it's always gonna roll back down? Why would he do that? And from a philosophical standpoint, there are a couple of different ways you can take that. You can say, you know what, Sisyphus is an optimist, and every single time he's like, it's gonna work this time, golly gee, it's gonna work this time, and every single time he's disappointed. And you can also say, Sisyphus is just this is just all he knows how to do, this is what he does, he rolls the rock up the hill. But if you want to imagine Sisyphus as, being at least a little bit happy, then you can imagine that he enjoys rolling the rock up the hill. That yeah, his goal is to get it to the top, but he does enjoy rolling rocks up the hill. It's partially about the journey, it's not just about the destination. So now imagine, you're Sisyphus. And you like rolling the rock up the hill. You really do. Like, yes, you are trying to get it to the top, but you enjoy rolling rocks up hills. This is kind of your jam. And even if you never get to the top, it's okay, because you like rolling the rock up the hill. You genuinely do. And so today's the day. You're rolling the rock up the hill, because this is what you do, it's your boulder, you gotta roll it up the hill, this is what you do, this is what you enjoy. And as you get to the top, the boulder rolls back down, because that's what happens. You're Sisyphus. This is a Tuesday. Fortunately, this is kind of like a really not great Tuesday, because as the boulder rolls down, it bowls you over. It bowls you over, you are in pain, you got rolled over by a boulder, you are now at the bottom of your hill, and the boulder rolled over you, and everything hurts. But it's okay, because it's a Tuesday. These things happen, and you're like, you know what? It's a Tuesday, we're gonna keep vibing. We are going to just get right back up and get back to pushing that rock, because that is something you enjoy. You are Sisyphus, you enjoy pushing the rock, you stand up, you go to get your rock to push it up the hill, and a second rock bowls you over. And it's like, you're Sisyphus, and you're pretty sure this hill only had one rock. You're not super sure where the second rock came from. It's like, wow, I didn't know this hill had two rocks. Well, I guess it does now. But anyway, you're in pain again. The second boulder bowled you over, and that's not comfy, but you're Sisyphus, and you enjoy rolling rocks up hills. And so you're like, you know what? Second rock? Okay, second rock. Let's just go back to my original boulder and roll it up the hill. So you get up to roll it up the hill again, and you get bowled over by a third rock. And it's like, wow, this hill has a lot more rocks than I remember it having. Where are all of these rocks coming from? This seems a little bit unfair, but it's okay, because you're Sisyphus, and you like rolling boulders up the hill. So you stand up again, and you immediately stand up straight into a boulder that has rolled you over again. You are in so much pain. It's kind of like, wow, why do I even bother getting up? Because you're getting into the boulders. Like, maybe if you just laid down and let the boulders roll over you for a bit, like, it wouldn't be as painful as, like, getting up and standing directly into a boulder coming at you. And so you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. I'm just gonna lie down. You're gonna lie down. You're gonna let the boulders happen. Because clearly, boulders have got to stop at some point, and maybe, just maybe, if you take a break, the boulders will stop, you'll be able to get back to what you love. And you're Sisyphus. You like rolling rocks up the hill, so you're just laying there, you're taking your break, and the rocks don't stop coming. Like, now at least you aren't standing up directly into them, they are just rolling over you, and it's still painful, but like, it's not as bad as it was, because you aren't moving towards them. You are just letting them happen, And after a while, the rocks sort of slow down. Like, a couple more come, and you're like, wow, yep, glad I was laying down for this. But they've slowed down. And you think to yourself, wow, I might be able to roll the boulder back up the hill. And so you look around, you make very sure there aren't any rocks coming, and slowly but surely, you stand up and you go back to your boulder, and you're like, today's the day, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna roll the boulder up the hill. And just as you reach for your boulder, a rock descends from the heavens perfectly and smacks you on the skull and knocks you down. And at that point, you're Sisyphus, and you're like, wow, the universe kind of hates me. What if I never get back to rolling the boulder up the hill, because the universe keeps sending me rocks? It's like, wow, there are so many rocks in the universe. And at that point, as Sisyphus, you have a choice. The universe might not stop sending you rocks, but should that stop you from rolling the boulder up the hill? Rolling the boulder up the hill is something you enjoy. You are Sisyphus, you enjoy rolling the boulder up the hill. Why is having rocks coming at you stopping you? And so as Sisyphus, you make a choice. After all, It's about time I get back to the underworld. However, before I can actually do that, we've got some housekeeping, because I've been gone for a bit, and I've been gone, but it's not like I haven't been doing things, you know? Like, I've done a lot. So let's do a quick little review, and then we'll get back to the underworld. Way back at the end of July, Triss finished the exterior of the courthouse, which meant it was my turn to do the interior. And I did. I really went all out with custom paintings and a custom security system. And surely, the fact that I, a double agent, a member of the underworld, did the security system for the courthouse, surely that will have no plot significance moving forward. Moving right along, in early August, the underworld gained a new member in Arcadian, who built a crypto bank. Arcadian also happened to unfortunately reveal the entrance to the underworld. And you may or may not know this, but Arcadian is no longer with us. Those two statements are not connected in any way, shape, or form, and I dare you to find the connection between them. After all, Arcadian posted a very lovely saying goodbye video. You can and you should go watch it. And if you choose to imagine me standing just in the background with my trusty axe, I mean, that's entirely your prerogative, and I can't stop you. Later on in August was the Arcadia Charity Stream Weekend, where a bunch of Arcadians got together to raise money for Gamers Outreach, a really cool charity. Highlights of the Stream Weekend include the Scootball Tournament and the Server Tour, and overall it was just a lot of fun. After the Stream Weekend, I was responsible for immortalizing highlights and a nice little monument to commemorate the event, and I did. It took me 3 weeks, and 113 armor stands, but I did. And now it lives in the Nether Hub forever. So that was August and July. And you might be wondering, Corn, what about September and October? And to that I say, there was a lot of IRL stuff that went down. For one, I'm a college student, and college will always come first for me. Like, this is a lot of fun, this is a hobby, I love it, I love the friends I've made through it, and I love this, you know? I like rolling the rock up the hill. And at the same time, I'm a college student. And college is college, which I know is really detailed, but college is college sometimes. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that that's all the recap that's necessary. So let's just get back to the underworld, shall we? The first order of business is, of course, CAD coin. Because now that Cadiot is no longer with us in all senses of the word, which of course I have nothing to do with, CAD coin is just kind of sitting vacant here, because who's gonna collect the profits? Who's gonna refill the stocks? And the answer to that, of course, is me, because he's just left me a nice inheritance here. It's a wonderful inheritance, and the first thing I'm going to do is take out some of the lights, because it's so bright. It's so bright it's kind of killing the vibes of the rest of the street, so we're just gonna, put this here instead, and then we're probably gonna delight some things some more. Just because I'm pretty sure the light levels will still be fine afterwards, and it's so bright. And now that CAD coin has been delighted and it fits in better with the street, the only thing left to do is to formally declare it under new management. So now under new management, and we go blam, and we go blam. And there we go. Quick and easy. And now it's time to go see exactly what kind of profits I'm managing. Alright, 12 diamonds, 5 CAD coin, 74 sand, and absolutely nothing. Alright, this has already been a brilliant business venture. Gotta love it. Nice. Nice. So that's CAD coin, the first bit of business dealt with, but we also have other things to be doing in the underworld, such as the fact that there is no longer a building there, because I tore it down. You might not even remember there was a building there. I remember it because I really didn't like it. Like, I waited to like it. I really did. I gave it time, and it did not grow on me. It refused to grow on me. And it was a building from when I was building a bunch of diagonal buildings, so like I knew there was a chance I would end up not liking it. But it just, I did not like it, and I don't want a building down here that I don't like, so it's gone. However, I do still need buildings, because I intend for the underworld to be quite large. As you can see, I've been started digging out where all the blocks. Alright, someone very kindly took the bead slate I paid the money for it. Okay, that's fair. But I've been digging out over here is the point. I've been digging out over here because I want the underworld to be bigger than just this area. And part of that includes more buildings. And so the fact that I tore down a building is kind of a negative because, you know, it's one less building. And so I would like to put a new building here. So the first thing to do to put a new building over there is to go over to my storage area, which I definitely probably need to fix at some point because it's a shulker monster. It's just a shulker monster. And pick out some blocks, and just get to building. voila! The build is done. We are back to the number of buildings we had in the underworld before I tore this building down, or the building that used to be here down because I didn't like it, and I am very, very hopeful I won't have to tear it down again, because I think I actually kind of like this build. Which admittedly for me is a very bold statement because I'm indecisive and might decide later that I hate it, but I am hoping that I'm not going to do that. I think one of the major improvements, and the reason I'm not gonna decide to do that, is because I actually like the palette. If you remember the building that used to be here, I did not like the palette for it. I just kind of did it. But this palette, admittedly, it's the same one I stole from the top half of this building and turned it into its own building after tweaking it slightly. But hey, I think it looks okay. So hopefully, I'm not going to tear this down. I'm not going to. I'm going to say that repeatedly just so like you guys can hear me saying, I'm not going to tear this down because I like this building. I like this building. And you might be wondering, Corn, are we doing an interior today? And the answer is no, this interior is gonna stay empty for a bit, or at least for this episode, because my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I do not have time to do an interior before this video comes out. So, no interior. And if you're wondering, what's that blank space for, Corn? That's where the sign... Well, okay, explanation. This is going to be a tavern, same as the building it replaced, and that is where I'm going to put the sign of the tavern once I decide what to name it and stuff, and I've done the interior. But yeah, this is the build. I think I like it. I like it. We're gonna keep saying that statement to sort of reinforce it, because I don't want to tear it down again and rebuild it. Like, I think I like it. I think I like it. And so now that I have convinced myself that I like it, because I do like it, I think, we're just gonna end this episode with one last tour of the city from above, because if you remember back when I used to do episodes on a regular basis, whenever we would add something to the underworld, that's how we would end the episode, because my favorite view of the underworld is from above. So let's just have one last tour from above, and then end this episode. Because of the whole Arcadian situation, the entrance to the underworld is now a fair bit longer, because, you know, it had to be moved. Because he showed it on camera, in a video. So, you know, just enjoy a longer stroll down to the underworld, I suppose. And here we go.